and welcome to Otaku News Live for April 2nd, 2011, the Sniffles edition, where we are talking about the latest anime and manga news. And I have with me a big old group of folks. Welcoming as usual, Matt Dixon from Life and Timbs of Anime. Hello, Matt.
Hello, I am Matt. I'll be your otaku today.
Coming from the HAL 9000 theory of introductions. Also, welcoming Miniman. How are things going today?
Well, I'm not in the Sniffles edition, I'm afraid. I'm in the Spinal Problems edition.
Yeah.
But 15 minutes and I'm 17, so woohoo! And
woohoo!
you can bet that'll be mentioned in the outro.
Welcome also, Brad. How you doing today?
I've been better.
Yeah. Bit of the old allergies again?
Yeah. Ready to pass out.
Oh.
But I'm ready to get this going.
Fair enough. Zan, how are you doing today?
Hello everyone and welcome to ONL. Rising Zen here, and I just been on a huge manga anime reading binge.
Cool.
Yes.
We need Zan to, put his enthusiasm into bottles and send it out to these two guys.
Exactly.
Shut up, I'm dying, I'm not unenthusiastic.
I have my wisdom teeth pulled out.
There's a difference.
Exactly. Even with his wisdom teeth removed, this dude is enthusiastic.
Well, I've also had 5 days to recover, so yeah.
Well, that does help.
I was dying from watching 6 episodes of Lil Pri in one day. The greatest show ever.
So let's start off with, I guess might as well start off with the big news item of the week, which is...
Really? Otaku News Live doing the news?
Well, you know.
This is
we
rare.
got to do it sometime. And we're going to talk about 4Kids, the much beleaguered distributor. So the news is, for those who haven't caught up, TV Tokyo and Nihon Ad, who basically licensed Yu-Gi-Oh! To 4Kids, pulled the license this week and is suing 4Kids for, and I quote, underpayments, wrongful deductions, and unmet obligations, end quote, stating that 4Kids now owes them $4.792 million U.S.
Nice.
Yeah. And apparently, what happened was 4Kids basically did some sub-licensing of Yu-Gi-Oh! To Funimation and some other companies, and never told anyone about this, and pocketed all the money, which you're not supposed to do, for the record.
Not a smart move.
Not a smart move.
In the words of James from Pokemon, Leo Burnett and 4Kids are the devil.
So, yes, and this has been going on for years. Like, they started this in March in 2002, was when they first licensed this. Was when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was first licensed out. Earlier than that. No, the Funimation thing was March of 2002. So all this stuff is not very good for 4Kids. One of the big question marks, though, for me out of the story is what's going to happen to the Yu-Gi-Oh! License? We talked about this before. One of the problems with shows like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that they're aimed at kids. They need stronger localization. They need a company that knows how to market to kids. So who else is going to do that?
Well, first you gotta ask, does 4Kids really know how to market to kids?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is doing pretty damn well.
Well, have you ever watched 5Ds? I've watched the first 3 episodes. I can tell, just watching it, that half the plot they have in this show is not the actual plot of the show when it was over in Japan. It was most of the stuff they throw in is just.
But that's the thing is is the idea that would not play over in America.
Yeah. You say it's they've taken out half the plot, but the fact is 4Kids don't really have a choice if they want to remain popular in any form.
Yeah. And again, if they're taking out the plot, so what? Since when did little kids care about plot?
Yeah, it's true.
They like pretty colours and Pokemon.
Yeah.
And blue eyes, white dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, all 4Kids have got to do to pay for what they've done is just license Lil Pri and just say it's the new Mew Mew power. Then they're safe. It's awesome. Everyone wants Lil Pri now.
Okay, fair enough. But no, this is not a good. There aren't that many anime licensing companies over here in America, and I just don't. I can't think of anyone else who has the kind of deals 4Kids has made for broadcasting things on television. Just who else is going to handle that license? And And more importantly, who's gonna, whatever is the next big kid anime,
Lil Pre.
who's gonna do it?
Yeah, that's the thing that people, again, I won't get into the whole thing of ragging on 4Kids, even though it introduces new otakus. If this does make it the end of 4Kids,
Hooray.
yes, someone else will come and pick it up, pick up 4Kids, wrap up, but not in the next year. It's going to be a long time before anyone thinks, well, we're not as stupid as 4Kids, even though most companies are.
Right.
So we've got this huge gap of no kids being introduced into anime.
Yeah.
Bad move on 4Kids' part, and just not just a bad move for 4Kids, bad move for otakuism in the West in general.
And plus, when 4Kids die, so will the entirety of hate in anime forums.
Oh, no. There'll be plenty more hate. Hate will always be with us.
But it will never be the same, let's face it.
They'll find someone. Funimation, I'm sure, has to wrap next time.
When does Funimation at average?
Well, and just so folks are clear as to why we're not, screaming and yelling about 4Kids, one of our arguments is that there needs to be somebody who's providing this stuff to kids, and it's a different market than your typical otaku. So it's that problem that there's, for all of 4Kids' flaws, there's just no one else really doing what they do. So.
And those who are wondering why I'm not screaming and yelling about 4Kids, it's because I've already done it on 4 ONLs and 2 Otakus.
Exactly.
And the thing is, it's like, again, we can't, in a way, rag on 4Kids for a lot of reasons. The main reason being, we're not kids. We don't know what kids want because we're a completely different generation from the new generation of kids.
Yeah.
So, all these things to us are flaws, But at the same time, they were probably doing this back when we were going, oh my god, Pokemon is so fantastic!
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They've always done it, so if it works, whether it's a flaw or not, let them keep doing it.
Yeah. And exactly.
That's kind of funny, Matt, because just recently you just said, all kids care about is fluffy colors and rainbows with Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what I heard you say, at least.
Yeah, and I haven't contradicted myself.
Oh, I know. But here's all I'm going to say is that Pokemon was good, but it was also really good because of the marketing campaign Nintendo pushed with Pokemon the game. Because obviously the game is the original. I don't really care about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself is already kind of spiraling down the tube, like when the later seasons happened. Honestly, 4Kids gets a lot of bad rep for what they do. But the only thing I would really knock for them is how they treat One Piece.
I'm sure you would.
But also, kids are a bit smarter than you think, and
Really?
Yeah, they are.
Well, smarter in what sense?
Well, smarter in the sense that they know when they're being tricked. Like, yeah, sure, of course.
Really? They don't when I offer them candy to come into my basement?
Your basement, Vinny Man?
What?
Or the basement inside your basement.
Yeah.
Basement.
What I'm trying to say is, they know, what gets them psyched up. Like, yes, they can get tricked easily with, stupid marketing campaigns, stuff like that, but you have to understand that these kids eventually need to find that ramp on which they're going to need to get off from Naruto and go on to Ghost in the Shell.
Absolutely.
That's how I started, and us just bad-mouthing these kids, just saying, oh, they'll buy anything, is not true. In fact, the only reason why they're watching, crappy shows like Bakugan and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D is because that's the only anime that's on right now.
Let me ask you something, Dan. How many kids do you talk to?
Let's see.
Sorry, no, that was me being immature. Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to admit that.
Well, first of all,
let Dan answer.
First of all, I do head over up to my old high school a lot to help out my old math teacher a lot. Yeah, sure, that's not like kids the type of age we're thinking. But
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's still a lot of kids they find the anime room, the club that we have. Anime. And they're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's anime." We have to usually explain to them. They usually spend a few days watching the anime that we show on there. It's always very hit up. Sometimes it's Miyazaki. Sometimes.
But that's high school, right?
It's high school, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is true.
Because I work at youth groups. I work with 10, 12, 14-year-olds. And I can tell you they watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they adore it. They watch Bakuman because they adore it.
Bakugan, but yeah.
Bakugan. You know, all these kids shows that, you know, that we do complain about, they do absolutely eat it all up. They don't see it as, you know, they don't see through these things. They don't have the I want to say sense, you know, the ability to distinguish, to know when something's been changed from the Japanese.
Oh yeah, of course.
They have no way of knowing, and just a lot of the stuff that we think is stupid, they love.
Yeah, I wasn't bad-mouthing kids and saying they only care about plot and they don't care about plot because, you know, they don't. That's not bad-mouthing them, that's just the point, you know, that's how kids are marketed to. Pretty colours, funny jokes, nice characters.
And getting back to something we talked about before, you know, one of the difficulties here too is that you know, for kids, well, rather Yu-Gi-Oh! And these other shows that 4Kids get, they target that to a younger demographic than they're targeted to in Japan. So that's one of the problems, is that they're trying to get 8-year-olds to watch shows that are targeted at 12 to 15-year-olds in Japan. So that's why they have the changes. And you know, it's not that the changes are good, it's just that because they decided to go in that direction, that's where those changes are. Which is just, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of like, well, you know.
Yeah. Like sometimes changes are a bit too rash, you know? Like sometimes they're just a bit too over the top. For example, I can name any of the instances they did with One Piece, for example. Cookies are not donuts.
See, I disagree with that, personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm with Brent on that one. I mean, you can have a problem with what they did to One Piece, but when you're targeting kids, you can't really be offset by it because the kids are just going to watch it because they want the action and the fun and the colors.
Yeah. They aren't going to see the symbolism of, you know, like the things they remove often, you know, they might have a certain meaning to you as a person that watches, you know, like One Piece, certain things. You say, oh, this was integral to the character. Again, the kid's not going to notice that it was integral to the character. You know, these things that they remove, the kids aren't going to know they were removed. They're just going to think that's how it was. So why is it a bad thing? You know, if the kids enjoy it, let them keep doing it.
Because let's face it, if they did know about all this stuff, then ONL would be targeted to 6 to 12-year-olds.
Well, I wasn't even saying that stuff is integral to the character. I'm just saying, like, what's the difference if something is photoshopped, if it was a rice ball, now it's a cookie?
Because American kids have no clue what a rice ball is.
Yeah.
And they're going to see that and say, what are they talking about? It's going to be confusing. Why not make it something that they understand? I mean, my personal view, you know, because it was a rice ball in the original version because rice balls are understandable to that audience. So that's why I think, you know, they're trying to make it. It's kind of why I say you know, you can kind of argue that a dub is more like the original version because the original Japanese were watching it in their own language. You know, it's kind of like, you know, how are you adapting? Well, a good example of that actually was the changes made back to Macross and so forth for Robotech, where when characters would do this, you know, and laugh and ha 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 ha, they would remove those gestures because they would understand what that was in America.
Yeah, but also they also cut them from it was on TV, right? So they had to cut it for the time constraints, right?
Yeah, but those weren't cut for time constraints. They said they cut those because they were confusing to American viewers, which they were.
Okay. I guess I can understand that, but like, I don't know.
And the thing is, you've got to totally target towards your audience. I mean, if you remember old Battle of the Planets, Battle of the Planets in the Japanese version, a lot of people died every episode, pretty much. Whilst in the American version, they kept all the fights in, and then nearly all of the in-between scenes were taken from earlier episodes, and at the end of every single episode, when someone blew up, there was a robot at the end, which just went, everyone was okay.
Right.
Greatest plot device in history.
It really comes down to, you know, if someone doesn't understand your product, they won't buy it. And that, you know, that's what 4Kids is. That's what they do. They make it so the manual essentially is not in Japanese. It's in American English or English, so people buy it.
And also, I mean, you know, there is prior history to this. You know, as we all know, there've been plenty of stuff that they brought over here that was original to the Japanese and didn't work. I remember back in the 80s that there were quite a few anime that folks tried to bring over from Japan, and they didn't edit that stuff out, and it sank because kids didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, like I said, you can certainly argue whether one choice was better than the other, but I guess the point that we're all making is that you got to figure out how far you're going to go with these edits.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the exact anime, but Brent, you can remind me of the anime. What was the one where there's that theory about on the OVAs about editing out nudity, and there were frames missing? As a way of saying.
When Tenchi was released, they did not do a very good job of censoring it, and there were beliefs that was intentionally done poorly to show folks that there was originally nudity in it. I don't know, but it's an interesting issue. So, this whole issue is certainly going to be battled over in the courts too. I mean, $4.8 million is not chump change. So
definitely not.
Whatever happens with this lawsuit, a lot of money is going to change hands, even if it's settled out of court. And certainly, 4Kids has got a very bad reputation. I mean, I can't imagine anyone in Japan now going to be willing to work with 4Kids anymore.
Yeah, no, pretty much now. It's just they're gone. And the thing is, once they've gone, whoever comes back, we do have to ask the question. Although 4Kids was bad, is this company going to be any better?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they'll think, oh, we can do what 4Kids did better, which means they'll do what 4Kids did more,
right?
And just even more edits.
Yeah.
And again, even I can see it to a point. Edits stop doing them. So that's one thing to worry about. That now 4Kids probably won't see it to the end of next year, if even next year, with what they've done. So we've got it's like the next company that's coming along, we will all be doomed.
Yeah, 4Kids will probably be dead within a matter of a few months.
Well, I was trying to be optimistic, but
Well, I think
I was giving the children hope.
No, let's make this even more dramatic. 4Kids will be dead on the moment of my 17th birthday. Oh wait, there it is.
All right, there we go. Happy birthday, Miniman.
I'm sorry. Happy birthday to me, but 4Kids are doomed.
Well, I mean, the big question.
My present to the world
there we go.
for my birthday is to kill 4Kids.
Well, and I mean, the big question about that, though, too, is what other properties 4Kids has, how long they can keep those going. I don't even know what they do still have.
Magical Do Re Mi, I think.
Okay, and that's, I wonder who they're licensing that through. Let me just do a quick search here, but, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is certainly their crown jewel.
Yeah.
Do they still have Pokemon?
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
yeah,
that'll do.
They've still been showing episodes on Cartoon Network.
So that'll do fine. So
Mew Power is still surviving in England.
Yeah, and of course the other question too is how long they'll keep those licenses now. I mean, I suspect at the very least they will quietly expire at the end of the contract term.
What's really weird is that both Funimation and 4Kids have a license on Dragon Ball Kai.
Yeah. True.
I don't know how the hell that's been working. The only difference that I know so far is that Popo is blue in the 4Kids version. I'm sure there's tons of other differences, but I don't bother to watch since it's on the CW, which is like the new 4Kids Power Hour.
CW 4Kids, which is
I do have a question actually about the licensing with 4Kids. When the license, this is just me, not being 100% business savvy. When the licenses go, when they're just gone. Do DVDs and stuff just stop being sold?
Typically, what that means, no. Typically, all that means is that the original company cannot produce anything more from that point on. But everything that's out there is still out there. So
they can still make money off of it?
They could, yes.
What they have?
Well, kind of not usually, because usually what they've sold up to that, well, I guess no, that they could. So the idea is you license something, you produce 50,000 DVDs.
Right, okay.
You put that in your warehouse, and then you put out the notice, and then various actual middlemen, or middle persons, I suppose I should say, contact you and say, okay, we'll buy 1,000 or whatever, and then you sell those off. Once the license expires, it does depend, I'm sure, on the license, but typically that is content that you still have, and you could still sell.
Okay.
I would expect typically, unless the license typically says no more. But then, if you know the license is going to expire, then you put out a call and say, look, we're doing a fire sale on these DVDs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. The big thing is though that once the license expires, yeah, they can still sell DVDs, but it's going to be chump change compared to what they were making on networks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to hold them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the TV advertising is where you get all the money. Especially these days,
Is there anything that 4Kids can make money off now? I know this is just me asking pointless questions now, but is there any saving grace for 4Kids now to stop themselves from going underground?
Well, I can't. Well, and the big problem is, who are they going to license from?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
If they just got no hope, basically, that they would just, because they can't get licenses, they can't sell or do anything.
Well,
they
certainly
probably have one hope. Sorry, Brian.
No, go ahead.
They probably have one hope, and that's moving to American children's television.
True. Yeah.
And producing that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. In fact, is if they can find some other market that isn't as familiar with this case. It doesn't realize that, you get $4 million. Then they have a chance.
Run to John Lasseter.
No, I don't think Lasseter would be particularly. Dude, he probably reads A&N, knowing Lasseter.
Yeah. Who can say 4Kids? Oh my God, I think Lasseter and God, I forgot the name of everyone's favorite voice actor. Crap, what's his name?
Crispin Freeman.
Thank you, Crispin Freeman are teaming up.
I got it right. Quite proud of that.
Yeah. Actually, have you noticed Crispin Freeman has been in, he was in Ponyo as well as in Howl's?
I only remember him from Howl's because he was in there for 2 lines.
Yeah, I know.
I still refuse to watch the English dub of Ponyo, so I would know.
But I didn't even notice he was in there, but he's in the credits. So I'm hoping he's now turned into, the guy who's always in a Miyazaki movie somewhere. That'd be cool.
CP's most recent role was kind of disappointing. Just again, sorry to tangent a bit, but his role in Durarara was just disappointing.
Really?
He just wasn't Crispin Freeman. It's like again, this is me being the stereotype of saying the sub was better. The other guy that plays Koizumi is in it as well, and he's amazing. But Crispin Freeman was just disappointing. But anyway, sorry, I'll stop tangenting now.
Well, speaking of anime, which we always do. Anyway, that's not a terrible segue.
Speaking of anime on this anime news show.
I should just stop trying to do segues.
Speaking of news.
Right. Speaking of speaking. A bunch of Funimation streams are ending. I guess we can speak of licensing. That would be a good segue. So a bunch of Funimation's streaming licenses are ending this month. So basically, Fruits Basket, Hitalia, Oran, Sacred Blacksmith, Ghost Hunt, Tower of Duraga, both seasons, and Van Dread are all going to basically end this month in terms of free legal streaming. And it's not exactly surprising in terms of these things tend to get bought in blocks and so forth. But it is, I think, a good sign of one of the issues with online streaming, that these shows appear and disappear, and you kind of never know when something's going to be available or not.
Yeah.
If
the only ones that I'm really fretful for that are getting streamed, the only ones I care that are going away are basically Fruits Basket, Italian, or the only kind of shoujo-ish ones. Sacred Blacksmith, from what I remember, is harem basically. Tower of Duraga, haven't seen it, and Van Dread, I've heard of it somewhere.
Ghost Hunt's pretty darn interesting. Ghost Hunt's a neat one. But either way, I mean, whatever our preference is, this is one of the issues. I mean, if only there were a website which indexed all of the free legal anime streams out there. And there was some way.
Brent,
just
if only a man named Brent Newhall did this site and made it for people to view. I mean, only there was no street duty. I know.
If only there was somewhere.
The graphics guy from NASA decided to make a list.
You know, it would be really awesome if such a thing existed.
Really useful. And
if only it was called www.streamsuki.com.
I love it. Well, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Definitely.
It's already been done.
No wow!
It's being done by Brent Newhall.
If you go,
Brent, did you know you did this?
Well, the secret's out.
Were you aware?
I'm so happy.
Was this just one of them things where you got drunk and just went, oh?
Yeah, I was drunk last night. I made a website, and it's called streamsuki.com. Yeah, no.
You got really excited after a D&D session. It was just like, must make anime index.
Yeah.
But
welcome to Otaku News Live for the 2nd and 3rd of April 2011, where we blatantly just, shout out
about
the
news.
Yes.
We've sold out the
Pretty much exactly what's going on here.
Totally sold out.
I really need to buy the Oregon High School Host Club anime, because that's one of the few anime that I will say that is better than the manga.
Well, the manga came second, didn't it?
It came first.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. What, you thought it came second?
Yeah, because it was made by a bunch of folks. It was made by a bunch of folks. Let me see here.
It was made by Fisco Hattori from and part of Shoujo Beat.
Mm-hmm.
So at least the Funimation are telling us that these streams are ending.
True.
Like everyone needs to remember, understand my agony when just before the DVD comes out in not Britain, Phantom gets all of its streams pulled down.
Yeah.
And then all of the and then allows the episodes 1 to 4. That's great. I'm sorry, this is not available in your country. Oh, come on.
Yeah. It's rough. It really is.
Funimation, I still hold a vendetta.
So
does my little friend.
So let's see here. Let's talk about spring.
Yay!
Spring 2011 anime season's coming up, and Dengeki Online has released the poll of what shows its readers are looking for. Dengeki is one of the big anime magazines, and actually it's one of the big visual novel magazines. So their
30-year-old one's number one. That'd be so awesome. That's my number one.
So the first one is basically a Girls with Guns title, Aria the Scarlet Ammo.
It was a light novel, and now it was a manga, now it's anime.
Okay.
A friend asked me to read this. So far, it's scantily for about 10 chapters. Chapters are actually pretty long. I read some of it. It's pretty good, not bad.
Define pretty good.
I need more of it before the anime comes out.
Define pretty good.
What now?
Define pretty good.
It's kind of hard to describe, really. I think I haven't read enough of it. Yeah, my friend keeps on pressing me to read this one part. I've just been busy reading Bokurano and stuff.
Okay.
Welcome to the Zan Review Hour. Bye.
Yeah, I know. It's just I haven't spent too much time with it. Is the thing.
Okay.
It's pretty good for what it was so far. God only knows. I already know that it's already good. The manga was good, and now this is just excellent. Season 2. Ichijo. I watched the first episode. It's good.
Yeah. So the full list is Aria. One second, I'm going to
say this now. You should get Zan to do your segues for you. He can make a sentence last forever.
Followed by Denpa Onna no Seishun Otaku, which looks to me like a visual novel adaptation. Story revolves.
Speaking of things that sound like the word otaku.
High school boy named Niwa Makoto lives with his aunt's family, meets a mysterious cousin who calls herself an alien, been missing for half a year, found floating in the sea, doesn't remember anything, so yeah.
Well, they read my bibliography.
Then The World God Only Knows Season 2, which that's no big surprise there. Followed by Nichijou, My Ordinary Life, the KyoAni series. Then A Channel, which I know has been getting a lot of attention lately from Otaku.
It has. Probably because it's close to Lucky Star.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely, yeah.
Then this is one that actually caught my eye, Hanasaku Iroha, which is basically about a bunch of sort of cute girls, high school, college age, who are all working at a 1920s era hot spring inn. And
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And they're all kind of trying to figure out, at least the main character's trying to figure out what he's going to do with their life, and it's sort of slice of life, but also sort of a what's the term for a story that's about growing up and
slice of life.
Not slice of life. Slice of life is typically sort of here is just one piece of someone's life, but it's
slice of extended life.
Well, it's and
no,
I believe it's German.
He's right. There is a term for it.
Yeah, got their building wrong or something.
Section of life.
No. But that's not it. It's about some particular important moment in someone's life where they change as a person.
Coming of age.
Coming of age. Thank you. Coming of age. And there is some German term for it, but yeah. So apparently it's sort of a coming of age, although sort of older coming of age. Followed by Blue Exorcist, then C. Yeah. Then then Ano Himita Hana no Namae o Boku blah 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 blah, which is 6 childhood friends grew apart in high school. 2 of them get back together. They got to reunite their old friends. So again, sounds like a dating sim.
My animes are popular this year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Actually, one of the interesting things about this is how a lot of the plot lines are not your typical anime plot lines.
Yeah.
Which is
and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff,
I'm surprised that Appleseed 13 isn't being allowed
I
in the
know! Me too. I'm surprised Steins Gate isn't in here.
Those 2 would be like #1 instantly.
I mean, Steins Gate was hugely popular visual novel. So I don't know why some of these other aren't. Now, granted, I mean, this is Dengeki Online. It's it's not everyone.
Maybe they're not counting Appleseed 13 because of the weird way it's been distributed.
Could be.
It could just be not taking them out because it's like saying, "Oh, these were at the top." It's kind of just like saying, "Duh."
True.
Kind of thing.
Could be.
So we'll report on the things that are interesting rather than the things that I've said things too much.
Well,
rather than the things that are obvious.
Yeah. I mean, this is supposed to be apparently the survey is actually, they said the self-selected pool of respondents. So I don't know if that means that the poll people got to submit titles for it, or whether the magazine selected them out. It's a good question. Yeah, it certainly does seem like there's some weird titles there.
I'm looking forward to
Shion
Part 2.
I just went to my local anime site, and the Anime Dog Days episode 1 just got put up, and everyone's comparing it to Zero no Tsukimiya. I don't know what the hell that is.
Zero no Tsukaima.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yes, familiar with Zero.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Also, recently they also put up this shoujo, Sekaiichi Hatsuyoki Koi. I said it so wrong. It's basically the one with the 2 male lovers, and they're both working at a manga shoujo publishing company. Yeah, it was full of yaoi first episode.
Okay.
Shonen Ai, yeah, that one got a lot of attention on one site I've been to, can't remember which one.
Alright, getting back to the news, segue this. Code Geass, manga ka, really pissed off at a blogger. We know. So Tomomasa Takuma is the mangaka behind Code Geass Shikoku no Renya. He also did one of the others, Nightmare of Nunnally, and he actually did Kurogane Communication, for those who've seen that.
There's like 3 of them.
And basically, there's this blogger who has been basically bashing on him quite a bit. And I'm trying to see if they list who the blogger is. But basically, the mangaka has decided he's just going to sue the guy, or the person, for, I don't think they've mentioned exactly what for, but basically for slander or whatever.
It was for claiming he was infringing on a copyright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, he claimed he was just stealing from something else. I'm surprised they're like sort of more concerned about this than the 8 assassination attempts I've had on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
and before he realizes it's me, I'm going to hide so he never sees my face. Hello, I'm Miniman 12544.
So it is. I mean, this doesn't happen in Japan. You know?
No. It's
not usually.
Quite humble-ish people sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't do this kind of stuff normally, so it is quite a shock that, you know, a blogger would kind of say that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, death threats are sometimes common. You know, like actual death threats. But you know, like it's always a time, always a joke with anime, especially where it's like if someone's on a computer, they automatically get responses like kill yourself. Yeah.
The internet is a scary place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on it.
But there are two websites which are completely okay on the internet. They are known as Otaku News Live. No, wait, no. What's it? Otaku No Video. Oh, God damn it, I messed up our own website. Yes, the meds.
Yeah, there we go.
OtakuNoVideo.net for everyone out there wondering.
There we go.
Stream60.net.com.
I don't know.
One of the two.
Even Brett doesn't
Just
know
keep
his
on
own website.
trying.
He was drunk when he made it.
Just keep on trying. You'll find it eventually.
Just search Loli Hentai on Google and it'll come down.
Sadly, yes, that is true. We've got to figure something out about that.
No, we've got to keep it. Advertise it for that.
No.
I want it to be number one.
No.
Your number one source for Luli Hentai.
Well, once Lotte no Mocha goes on, it'll be automatic. So let's see here. So, good news for manga. The American Library Association put 3 manga on its list of 2012 great graphic novels for teens, which, I'm sorry, that's pretty darn early. We're 9 months away, 8 months away from 2012. They've already got a list of the best manga for 2012. That's pretty ballsy. But Inti Winti Monster could be.
That's like me saying that. Me hearing that is the best moment of me being 17.
So, Inti Winti Monster, Secret Notes of Lady Kanoko, and Stellar 6 of Gingancho, are all on the list. All titles I've never heard of before in my life.
That's because of shoujo.
I know a fair amount of shoujo, but...
Well, they're lesser-known non-shoujo beat shoujo. Like, really niche shoujo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you know about
I haven't read them myself, but I think I've heard of Inti Winti Monster once.
Okay.
Because my little brother brought home a book collection that you buy from the book fair, and it was on there.
Yeah. Matt, I know you wanted to say something about this one.
I just generally think it's awesome that, you know, it's on an American list of best graphic novels and copy. You know, I'm not going to get into the thing that manga is not a graphic novel. But you know, I think it's really cool that manga has been put in this list. You know, because it's a nice little promotion.
Yeah.
On the Western side, you know, it's just this another thing that says Western people try manga.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah. I don't know why he's Russian, but he is now.
Surprising number of Russians in the American Library Association. Little known fact.
Everybody is Russian. But it's really, really cool, and I'm really glad they've just, you know, they've done it. And maybe, you know, I've got a feeling it's just sort of like a thing they thought, oh, we'll put 3 in. You know, it's not like a thing where they thought, look at these sales figures and all this and this and this and this. This has to go on there. It's just sort of, let's put some manga in and pick some. So they got a dartboard and just went, this one, this one, and this one. But no one's ever heard of them.
Yeah. That's what confused me, though. They got put on a best list, but I don't think I've ever heard of any of these, and I don't think any of my friends have either. It just seems so obscure.
Yeah. Let me do a quick look here. Well, the thing is, I mean, they've done manga before. 2010 included Children of the Sea, which I think is Bokurano. What else? Pluto, Oku, The Inner Chamber. Those are all on there for 2010. Real, by Takehiko Inoue, was on there, as was Uzumaki. Japan Eye, which actually is quite good, although it's by a, American. Then 2008 saw, what else? King of Thorn. Wow. After School Nightmare. Emma. Good choice.
Yep, nice.
And a few others. So they do seem to like manga, actually, to my surprise.
Well,
good.
Also, the fact is, the reason that most of the people in the American Library Association are Russian is that, as is a common fact, the Russians have in fact invented time travel, so they have gone to the end of the year, looked back at all the things that was there, and decided that these are the 3 best.
Okay.
So we don't know it, but these 3 manga will outsell everything and change otakudom as we know it.
Yeah,
so
apparently, from what I heard from one of my friends who works there, it's going to save 4 kids.
Okay.
It's going to single-handedly fund Funimation for the rest of its existence.
Okay. Gotcha.
So 3
and Brent stars in a later episode.
Right.
Yes.
I found that out, and that was amazing.
And good news, thanks to some backing by the British people here on ONV, you'll be Prime Minister, the first ever American Prime Minister, by 2023.
No, I see. Oh yeah, I read that. You know, the Time Machine news. Get it daily. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of reality.
Yes.
Go deeper.
Reality on this show? What are you talking about?
Since when? I'm wearing a builder's hat. I'm a builder. I'm not an otaku.
No, not at all.
I'm a miner.
I thought you could drink. Anyway, so speaking of crazy, actually, I'm talking about Leiji Matsumoto a bit. As awesome as he is, he has announced that he is supervising an anime about the Hayabusa space probe. Like
Wall-E, anyone?
Could be.
Ground control to Major Tom.
And I mean, what's awesome about it is it's not like he's saying we're going to do a, it's about the workers behind it. No, it's going to be about the Hayabusa space probe. I don't know how the heck they're going to do it unless it's going to have like a cute chibi face on it. And sprout arms.
The Hayabusa space probe is secretly a transformer.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to have a space battle on the way.
It's also going to be making a cameo in the 2nd series of Iron Man.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, that's how it's going to work. Yeah.
Well,
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Well, I'm looking at this picture right now on ANN, and all I have to say is this: that's a nice probe.
Yeah, it's a nice probe. Definitely.
What fine probe you got there.
Hello.
Damn it, he's got the title to ONL. Damn it. Haven't had a week yet.
There we go.
It's really frustrating for me.
I don't know. It's kind of weird with. I watched your primer about Leiji Matsumoto, Brent. I've tried watching a lot of his works. I tried getting into Captain Harlock because that's like the most approachable one for me since I like action. But every time I watch Captain Harlock, I'm like, okay, why is he feeling like this? What's his story? And I even watched the prequel. I watched Arcadia or Arcadia of My Youth.
Yeah.
I watched that. I'm like, wait, who is this girl? What is it? You're not going to explain, are you, Leiji? No.
Apparently, you have to get like 9,000. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that number. You have to get like 3,000 episodes into Captain Harlock before you actually get his backstory.
Oh, great!
It's one of those
that's
stories.
easy.
Yeah. But no, and to be fair, and I totally understand that frustration. That is very much the way Matsumoto works. He drops you into a universe with characters that already exist, and you just kind of are expected to run with it. And it's just, that's how he does stories, unfortunately.
So for all we know, the space probe's going to have like a beard and going to fight like 2 space force probably.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do an announcement saying, I am taking no liberties with this whatsoever. The storyline will literally just be it floating in space for several years before hitting a comet and blowing up.
Yay! But, I mean, gosh, they got SMAP involved.
SMAP, by the way?
Say what?
SMAP, by the way?
SMAP is a
fantastic card game.
SMAP is basically a Japanese pop sensation. I'm trying to remember exactly what that whole group is involved with, or is it just one? I think it's a couple of different people.
Great, so Leiji Matsumoto's the singing space probe.
They did
it could be like a 6-episode OVA, like Fooly Cooley.
I don't know. It could very well be. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Except not interesting in any way whatsoever.
Well, it's interesting that you said that the SMAP is a music channel Cthulhu. You said it's a music.
Okay,
it's a music. What?
Are you sure you're...
Oh, no, I've just got a portal in the back of my head that allows...
I know, but like, Cthulhu, like, really possessing you, because it's happening more and more often with each episode.
It's true.
Yeah, I know. I'll try and get it dealt with. I'm on some, anti-meds, anti-Lovecraftian meds.
Okay.
Anywho, yeah, it's just that Lovecraft anime. Just gets just destroys everything Lovecraft.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have never seen it or heard about it. Crap.
It's interesting that you say that it's a music group that's involved, because again, I didn't know who they were. But it gives me more this idea that it's not going to be your typical anime. Obviously, we already know this, but it's more going to be something you watch to get some sort of mood down. It's sort of weirdly serene. Like they play this music playing, and all you really are doing is watching this probe do slightly unprobish things, because the probe doesn't actually dodge comets or go through. Right. Like, I'm pretty sure there'll be one bit where it goes into a giant asteroid and floats around the inside of the asteroid. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I would find that extremely relaxing with some good music.
Yeah.
And that's why that's what the vision of this anime looks like to me. Just some sort of weird, kind of like Disney's Fantasia, or some of the things from Disney's Fantasia kind of thing. Just really
that's the thought I got. Sounds to me more like sleeping with Hinako in space.
There we
Sleeping with Hinako is awesome.
It's the most tense anime I've ever seen.
I know. I was so enthralled with the story.
I was on the edge of my seat, getting ready to
Will
leave.
she turn over this time? Will she moan in her sleep yet? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Fifth panty shot. Fifth panty shot.
Way, 10 points.
But yeah, I can see this being just an ambient thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a plot, not any characters, nothing like that. It's just a probe in space with music.
Yeah, I can see that too. The thing is, Leiji Matsumoto is like Mr. Space Opera.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, will there be tiny people living inside the probe that are then attacked by a giant alien armada? I don't know.
It's a story.
Question: when was this announced?
Like this week.
April.
Well, was it announced on Friday?
No.
Much earlier.
It was like Wednesday.
Again, because what was Friday?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This was announced on the 29th.
Yeah. So
posted at least.
Pretty definitely.
Just sounds like lazy.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, for those who aren't familiar with it, the Hayabusa space probe was a big deal. It was, huge. It was the number 5 most tweeted word in Japan from March 30th to October 2nd. So think of that time span last year. Sandwiched between K-On! And the iPad.
Wow.
Anyway, so the space, it's certainly something that's big enough to warrant some kind of animated, like you say, I think it'd be cool whether they do something that's literally, human storyline or not. I think it's something that's right for some kind of anime thing, even if it's like a Fantasia style sequence.
That's the thing. I can almost just say I'm excited for this. I will watch it no matter what it is. No matter what people tell me whatever crazy thing this guy comes up with. And that's the thing as well. Again, he is the space opera dude kind of thing with anime. Maybe this is not him trying to get people to see him in a different light, but just saying, screw it, I'll just totally left field. Because, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And again, not just in anime, in everything. A director, producer, writer, singer, blah, 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 thinks, sod it, I'll do something completely unexpected.
Yeah.
And that's, and I think that, in my opinion, it seems like that's what this dude is doing, is just thinking, total left field, let's do Fantasia in anime.
And the guy's 73. He doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
Once you reach that age, it's like, I don't care about any of you guys.
Yeah.
And he's who else would say, you know what? I'm going to do a promo for my current manga series set to Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go to Queen, and I'm going to license it, and we're going to do that. Okay, dude. You know.
I think We Will Rock You, the anime, it's nonsensical enough to be an anime.
So, let's see here. Speaking of anime,
which we often do.
Which we often do. Sometimes.
Zan, you know, in control of segues. Zan,
yeah,
segue.
Totally.
That'll be ours. What's next? What are we talking about now?
Gundam Unicorn in theaters.
Yay!
Which I wanted to bring up, not because it's in theaters, as folks have noticed, this happens before. So Gundam Unicorn is going to be aired in the New People Entertainment Center in San Francisco. I'm sorry, no. That's the name of the group. So where the heck is it? Anyway. The Viz Cinema. Duh.
Yeah.
They're going to be airing the Gundam Unicorn OVA episodes 1, 2, and 3 in the theater this weekend.
Here's the new one, right?
Yes.
Cool.
And they're also going to be selling the Blu-ray discs there at the center. And they'll be slightly discounted, which for Unicorn doesn't mean much. So you go in, you can watch the first episode for $8 on the screen, second and third for $10. Then you can go out and you can buy Volume 1 on Blu-ray for only $45. Volumes 2 and 3 cost $50 each. Ooh, so hey, which is $10 off.
Yeah.
This is to folks.
10 bucks. I was going to say 10 bucks. 10 bucks with my American accent. I mean English accent.
Yeah.
But $10.
Yeah.
Matthew Kinward. Doesn't sound like much, but $10 is a decent amount of whatever you're buying, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's basically 20%.
Yeah.
It's a decent discount. It's just I think a few folks are going to see that and say, a single hour of content on Blu-ray for $50? You're crazy. But that's just what Unicorn costs.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the excuse could be, well, think of how much people are paying for it in Japan.
Exactly. And
they go into an anime shop and say, I'd like Gundam Unicorn, please. Right, well, we'll take your lungs first. Then maybe a skin sample. And, have you got any testicles? We'll take them as well. Just take anything.
Yeah.
So again, we're still not paying as much as the folks over in Japan pay. So we've got a right to complain because, not all anime is like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't have a right to complain because we're still getting it easy.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like you have to make basically a planned vacation to go see Gundam Unicorn.
Yeah.
Go to see the episodes.
You have a weekend to plan it, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things is that, again, it's an hour long, so you're going to be in there. What was also interesting, actually, is they're showing it both subbed and dubbed.
Awesome.
I think that's really awesome.
At the same time.
Yeah, just screens right next to each other. There's not even a wall between the theaters.
Like massive speakers, so it's just like Nanu, what are you doing there, that guy?
Yeah, it's all coming from one speaker. It's not even two sets of speakers doing the dub and sub. It's just the same one speaker. It's just a guy with a megaphone, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stood in front of the screen, reading it out, just reading the script in different funny voices.
The reason it costs so much is so revolutionary. It's going back to old style cinema, just a guy on a piano.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like when you buy the Blu-rays, you're buying the guy.
Yeah, you just get a vinyl disc. You don't get a DVD. You just get a big vinyl disc and a piano. And it's lovely. This is how you play along.
And now for sale, the Gundam Unicorn wax cylinder, which you very easily put in. So here's the question: do you think this will? How many Blu-ray discs do you think they're going to sell at this event?
3.
A decent amount. Enough to make a profit, I'd say.
No, enough to make profit. They'll be lying.
Every sale will be profit.
In San Francisco, probably a good, I don't know, maybe 150 Blu-ray sales.
Yeah.
No, I'd say in terms of profit for each one. Let's see. So altogether, it's $125 for each disc. So I'd say they're probably gaining, considering how much Viz pay for the quality of their discs. They're probably gaining $124.97 cents a disc.
Yeah.
We profit because every time you buy it, we get part of your soul. No, I think they'll come out with a good profit on their hands with this, because it's not only just the people. People will go on holiday to see this. People will go on holiday to buy this early.
Yeah. Oh, I would.
Because again, you're something like that. It's not just the fact that you're getting it discounted, you're getting it early.
Exactly.
How awesome do you feel? This is even me. How awesome do you feel when you get something before everyone else does?
Yeah.
Like when, again, just a gaming example, when I got in the beta for Rift, I was like, I'm in the beta, you're not. And the same thing's going to happen with Gundam Unicorn. People are going to go, I've got the DVD, you haven't.
And also, I think the movie theater experience would be a big draw.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I've seen the first episode of Unicorn. I would absolutely sit in a theater and spend. I mean, you're getting 3 hours worth of movies of anime here. That's going to be quite an experience, especially if you bring some friends along. Really enjoy it. The only problem is, Unicorn is very Gundam-y. It's not the girl who left her time.
I know. So you're saying you're expecting people people that aren't into anime to go see this?
Yeah, I think this is only going to get anime fans and Gundam fans at that.
And female fans are so stupid they realise that the word unicorn's in it.
Oh, there we go.
I doubt that, but
it'll just be anime people there. It's not even then. Even with just anime people coming in, because this event is for people that like the anime.
Yeah.
It's not for the people that are interested in the anime. It's for the people that want, know it, want it, need it, kind of thing. They already know everything, kind of thing. It's for anime fans. Maybe not by anime fans, by Satan. Wants to steal their souls. So and even then they will make profit.
Up with Apple.
Yeah. So I agree. It'll bring in the hardcore fans, and that's fine.
And they'll still make a profit, which is quite shocking just to think how many people will go if it's just anime fans, and they will make a profit.
It'll be
it's
very
kind of like
interesting.
almost a fact that they will make a profit out of this.
I'll be curious to see the final numbers, see how it turns out.
Yeah. And then there's also the thing about San Francisco being the place where fringe communities get together and grow.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, I think San Francisco is probably their best bet for airing something like this.
And also, you've got to consider they're not only making a profit from the people buying the tickets and the people buying the DVDs. They will get a portion of what people pay for snacks and the advertising that will be done.
I doubt that.
Again, I don't know how it works over in the States, but when we go to the cinema over here, there's sugar loads of adverts at the beginning.
Yeah,
and then you play the film.
Yeah, over here typically the ads and the concessions go entirely to the theater. That's how the theater makes money.
Yeah.
So I don't think Bandai is going to get much out of those. But we'll see. Who knows?
Well, it depends if they've taken the manager's soul as well.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The soul is always the key question.
Plus, Satan pays you $1 billion for 1,000 souls. They're getting close, apparently. Apparently, they're on about 873.
Yeah, and we all know that Gundam is the window to the soul.
Oh no, they got him.
I think every anime fan has watched at least some Gundam.
Yeah.
I should probably back up from this conversation. Yeah.
And with Miniman.
I have never watched
No, talk to people. You must go now. Watch. I don't know why I've changed my accent. Go watch some Gundam.
Yeah.
At least
watch some.
That's like the most gateway Gundam there is, honestly.
I would say if you want to go into Gundam, start with 00, and that will give you a baseline as to what you will or won't like. Because 00 seems to be the one that folks these days seem to dislike the least, if you will. And you may from that say, I wanted something more, over the top or something more, whatever. But at the very least, there we go. But and Gundam's tough because there's so much different stuff, and you can come in and say, I watched G and it was all goofy. Well, it was meant to be. So.
Is that little 8th MS team is the thing? Is 00 8th MS team?
8th MS team is a great start. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't understand what you mean by 00. 00, like, are you talking about 00 as in Mobile Suit Gundam 0079?
No, Gundam 00. Gundam 00. The most recent series.
I don't know.
Okay.
The mangas are apparently pretty good as well.
If you can find them, yeah.
The manga.
Yeah.
And I've seen it, and the art looks pretty good, and from what I've heard from friends, it sounds like the manga is, the 00 manga is quite good.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out one of these days. We don't get too much Gundam manga over here, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we've got a hole in the local comic book store. Well, one of my local comic book stores. And when I say local, it's an hour and a half bus drive away. Because that's what it's like over here. You have to go through the rain and dirt and thunderstorms to get your comics. But yeah, they've got a huge, like, a shelf filled with Gundam. You know, it's in alphabetical order, and the G section is just like Gundam.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, see, we don't get that over here. I mean, there's been a fair number of stuff released, but it's released and then it's there for a year and then disappears.
Yeah. Well, the manga seems to be a lot more popular than the anime in Britain.
Really? That's interesting.
Really? Yeah, because Anime Expo sells a lot of the mangas. You know, it's like they have stalls that is just one dude sat there with just Gundam manga.
Wow.
I think it was only there for one of the months. He wasn't there for one of both the things I was went. So he might just go in the October season. I don't know.
Still.
But the manga seems to be a lot more popular in the UK. From what I've heard from like websites and just by looking in shops. You know.
Wow. Because
in HMV, never see a Gundam DVD. In comic book stores, always see the mangas.
Gotcha.
Down here in Kent, we don't have any comic book stores that sell manga or DVD things, so I'm at a loss here.
Yeah. Everywhere I've been, you wouldn't know Gundam had a manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. I was worried to say that if all the series have a manga, because not all the series from what I've seen of the mangas have a manga.
Oh no.
But,
very few actually.
Well, because when I go to the G section of my comic book store, it says, "Go F yourself, you lazy otaku."
Pretty much.
Do you have a manga section? A what?
No, do you have a manga section? Get that shotgun. Get out.
Just go. Just get out.
Yeah.
You're sticking this place up with your own.
I shall happily recreate the entirety of the Kill Bill scenes on your face right now if you don't mind.
Speaking of the news.
Yeah? Oh, right.
Yeah, we don't get big manga sections here in the States. Every bookstore I've been to, including the big ones like Books A Million, I've asked, "Where is your manga section?" They go, "That tiny box in the corner."
Wow, really?
Yeah.
We get
must dig for it.
In my area, I gotta admit, in my area we have like a whole section for manga.
Yeah,
we have like two bookcases for manga and like little chairs for the manga cows. Which, that's what they're called. I don't like the term, but that's what they're called.
Manga cows. Sorry,
yeah, I know.
We have like 4 shelves, and it's like all in alphabetical order.
Yeah, and also I do want to give a shout out. My local comic book store has a lot of manga. I'm impressed. It's like the only comic books I've ever seen where they have a lot of manga available, and it's also some of the weirder stuff. They'll tend to stock the things like Otaku and other stuff that's just not typical Shonen Jump stuff. That Borders always has like every volume of Naruto. And the comic book shop has a lot of them. But they'll also get some other stuff in there too.
Sorry, go ahead, Minima.
Over here, if you're after manga, they go, "To get your manga, you must complete Kaguya Hime's 5 challenges."
Well, I was going to say, it's never really occurred to me, I've thought about it every now and then, but it seems like manga is way more popular in the UK.
Sounds it.
On the seesaw of which, what do you read, anime or manga?
Yeah.
It's like, I know tons of people in my college that read manga. But some of them read manga and don't know what anime is.
Well,
which is weird.
I think there's a separation between the south and north on that one, though, because a lot of the people I know who, are from down here in Kent, we're anime. There's a few of us, but we're all anime people.
Yeah. And also...
So I think it's maybe like a divide between the counties.
Interesting.
Probably.
Could well be. Well, also, over here, certainly, there's not a divide, but we tend to have folks who are anime people or manga people.
Yeah.
You know, you tend to be into manga or into anime. You know, you'll see some of the other. But
I think you find that everywhere, though.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know many people myself that are, you know, buy manga and watch anime.
Yeah.
You know, they either do one or the other.
Yeah. It's interesting because... Go ahead.
And being in Matt's basement, I just don't know many people myself.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He knows the zombies.
Do the zombies read manga?
Sometimes. I give them some.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of... Well, they read a lot of light novels.
Otaku no Video, the joke edition.
And on that
the
note...
only reason I can actually survive in Otaku no Video is they're huge fans.
Oh, good. Yeah, there we go.
It might just be my area, but to get anime or manga, it's like a 2.5-hour drive out to the little tiny comic book store, but even though it's a comic book store, it still has shelves full of everything.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I've always loved those, let's be honest, there are a lot of these little stores that kind of suck. But, it's nice when occasionally you get the one where it's like, we are devoting every square inch to the stuff we love. So it's nice to occasionally find those things. I'm lucky to be in an area which has a fair amount of material. So the funny thing is, even though that's true, I still buy everything off Amazon.
Yeah, I buy a lot of stuff. Well, actually, no. It's like if I buy anime, comes off Amazon, and if I'm really eager for something like the next Haruhi manga, I'll pre-order it on Amazon.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if I'm buying manga, I go into the shop. I've explained this on the show before that I love the comic book shop feel. I love going in there, having a chat with the guy at the counter, maybe picking up a new Dungeons and Dragons dice. Then going to my manga section, just having a browse for half an hour.
Yeah.
It's just nice, because on Amazon you just don't get that. And again, Amazon is really bad in telling me what my manga is. It just shows me the picture. And all it ever does is recommend me that one porn manga. I don't want this.
The same thing.
I have that problem, especially because I'll go and I'll say, I'm interested in Rurouni Kenshin Volume 1. You would also like Rurouni Kenshin Volume 2. Rurouni Kenshin Volume 3, Rurouni Kenshin Volume 4.
Alright, my one's even weirder. It's just, I am looking for Devil May Cry, the anime. Okay, customers have bought this item, also bought Nerf guns.
Alrighty then.
The best thing was, it was totally right for me, because I need Nerf guns for my fly cosplay, so it was perfect. And I enjoyed that anime.
There we go. Alright, I think that does it for the news this week. Nothing too hugely shocking other than the fact that 4 kids may die.
And me, at this rate.
True. We'll certainly miss Miniman more than we'll miss 4 kids. Alright, so I think for that...
Matt's just like, nah.
Yeah, read my mind, Matt.
So as always, I would like to thank my guests, Matt Dixon from Life and Times of Anime. Thank you, Matt, for joining us.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank the question of the week.
Hey.
What's the question of the week? I've never heard of that before in my life.
This week's question of the week is name one anime character who you started hating but ended up loving.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was the
True.
question. Yeah, I have tons of answers to this one.
Yeah. So Matt, since I tried to push you out before we got there, you get first dibs on that one.
I've actually forgotten her name. She's so annoying. The Kitaro from Outlaw Star.
Oh, yeah.
And there you go.
Asia Clay.
Yes. I really, really hated her at the start. She was just really annoying and loud and, basically like high school girls. I will not say anymore. But then you just fall in love with Aisha Clan. She's funny and awesome and just an adorable character.
Nice.
I think, at least 3 of all of my answers for question of the week have involved Outlaw Star in some sort of way.
Yes. That is true. Miniman, how about you?
Mirai, Tokyo Magnitude 8.0.
Oh.
Main character there.
Yeah.
You start off with this first introductory episode and you're just like, this is a selfless brat.
Yep.
And plus she pretty much starts the earthquake by saying, I wish the earth would just break.
Yep.
On an X message. Well done, Mirai, you ruined us all. But no, I mean, you see this person start as this meaningless, I hate my life emo brat. Sort of, you know, my brother's annoying and I don't care about my parents or anything like that. And then you put them, and I just love that you sort of put them in this, like, life or death month of just hell that they're going through. And, you know, she just reveals her true colours as this completely defenceless sort of girl who's only putting on a facade because she's scared that everyone else won't sort of like her because of that. And sort of, you know, she doesn't develop as a leader or anything. She just develops as this marvellous character who sort of learns what it means to actually depend on someone. And sort of, I will not do any spoilers, but I can tell you that she has such an amazing arc in the last 3 episodes and such an amazing realisation, which is just probably one of my favourite, just, you gotta be kidding me, moments of anime on the last episode. It's absolutely fantastically done, and Mirai is the character that you've got to start hating and you will end up inevitably loving.
Very nice. Very nice. Brad, how about you?
Like, one example I had was Misaka Mikoto from Toramajutsu no Index.
Nice.
Which,
defend her man.
She is judging you.
I'll explain myself. This did not last long. At first, I thought she was going to be the typical annoying tsundere.
Yeah.
But it moved on from that very quickly.
No, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. Zan, how about you?
Alright, so about a year ago I was going on a Macross spree, just like watching all the Macross I can, starting with Super Dimension Fortune Macross on Hulu, and then moving my way up. And I even finished Macross 2, which is and one thing I constantly noticed, for at least the first 2, was that the love triangles would always kill me in the end. Like, there would be like nice mechs designs and stuff like that, but the love triangles always kill me in the end. Macross Plus, I believe it's called, was acceptable. I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. Though during the whole 5 episodes of the OVA, I still hated it. Because basically it was like these 2 guys.
All right, moving on.
Oh, okay. Anyway, character I would like to talk about is man, I'm forgetting his name, but I basically throughout the whole series I called him Twin Prick because he has this hairstyle where 2 pricks are coming out of his head. It's a weird hairstyle, I know. It's Macross 7. It's God, I do not know his name, but I always call him Twin Prick. And basically, he was basically what he was. He was a prick at the beginning of the series, to my main character, Nikki Fossera. I'm like, dude, Twin Prick, knock it off! And he evolved because he actually understood what the hell Nikki was doing in a way. Even I didn't understand what he was doing, but still. And, you know, he became a freaking man. Instead, he wasn't just like whining Nikki like, "Oh, you're being reckless," da 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 da. You know, he actually was like, kind of got sucked into the badness and like used it to his own advantage. You know, he actually became like a really confident guy instead of just like this drone in the military. He's like, "Oh, we can only fight. If we fight, then that's da da da." Like he just became like a drone, and he became his own person.
Fair enough.
And that's why I respect Twin Prick.
Cool.
I can't remember his name right now.
Okay. We also had an email in from Larkart 1091. He hated Sawako from Kimi ni Todoke. He says, but now I love her and her story and where it's going. So, fair enough there. My answer, I've got to admit, has to be Tsukasa from Dot Hack's Sign. And that was partly intentional on their part, because Tsukasa is this character who's kind of sucked into an online game and literally can't log out. And so the character is just completely crazy, frankly. Just been driven nuts by this whole environment. Very, very odd. And is very unlikable. And part of the series is other characters sort of coming around Tsukasa and caring anyway. You know, and saying, you know, I don't care how what Tsukasa's acting like. We're still going to be there and be kind and so forth and so on. And as they do that, it's one of the things I like about the series, Tsukasa starts, breaking out of that and becoming, a little more human and a little more likable and so forth. So they accomplished what they were setting out to do, I think. But it was tough going for a while, because you got someone who's just like You know, I don't want to be with anyone ever. Like, dude, get over yourself.
So she can't log out of the computer game?
Correct.
Oh, okay, because that reminds me of this fantastic line from this machinima called Beans, which is, oh, my computer, I can't move my hands away from the keyboard. I just can't log out. That's because you are on the verge of epilepsy. and if you lose this match, we will play you an episode of Super Pokemon Gundam Fun Time, which will no doubt make you seize uncontrollably.
So that was the question of the week for this week. Following up, let me see what we had. That was not something I really wanted to do this week. So the next, the one for, I don't want to do that one either.
While you think of one, I'll quickly add another one to the list, actually.
Okay.
I can't believe I haven't mentioned this, because I totally forgot about this character, amazingly.
Oh, there we go.
Lizzie Garland, Phantom, Requiem for the Phantom. She's with Inferno. You don't like that, you know. And she starts out as this sort of, just a sidekick of this manipulative woman who just uses her sex appeal to get anywhere. And sort of, she's this character you sort of hate because she's in that position, because she's willingly in that position. And then sort of, as it goes on in the second series, you learn to hate this woman much more. But the sidekick, Lizzie, just evolves fantastically, because you sort of see her reasons behind the trust, and then sort of her sort of saying, you've stepped the line. And then in the third series, she is like a completely underrated character, I think, by people, because in the third series she does some of the most fantastic things, not special effects wise, just sort of like morally wise.
Nice.
Just sort of, I'm defending you because that's what, you know, she wished for. It's really, really clever.
Cool.
And it just creates this brilliant ending for the character. So
nice. All right,
I'm interested in no one mentioned or apart from Brent, the intentional ones. You know, like for example, you know, it's slightly not intentional, but not exactly dislikable. But Chihiro from, you know, you're meant to sort of not exactly feel, you know, you're not supposed to feel pity with her in this situation, because she's like, well, you know, she's never worked in a day in her life, she's a bit of a spoiled little girl, you know, and then eventually you start to like her more.
You mean
kind of thing.
Spirited Away?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I should have said that. I just said Chihiro. There's no other Japanese person in the world.
I believe her second name is Sen, for all of you viewers watching.
Indeed. Her new name. So, question for next week. Fairly easy one. What's the most expensive piece of anime merchandise you've ever bought?
Actually, I already know the answer.
Yeah. I'm betting.
Don't worry, I'll save it.
No. I'm just saying. I'm betting we'll get some interesting answers off this one.
I'll be interested. £6.
Yeah. It's got to be an individual piece of merchandise, but it can be DVD, manga, you know, anime cell, whatever. So.
Oh, sweet, 60.
So that's the question for next week. So I will re-thank Matt for joining us. Thank you also, Miniman, for joining us.
I'm dying, but I'll be here on my 70th birthday, fainting and dying and being here next week somehow.
We'll send you some Otaku no Video meds.
Yay! Get more anime.
Get more anime. Thank you, Zan, for joining us.
Oh my gosh, I had a strong start at the beginning, but like the rest of the show, I just didn't have much to talk about. Hopefully we'll have the spring guide by next week, and that's when I can really shine. So yay.
We will see. And thanks, Brad, for joining us as well. Good to see you.
Thank you, Brad here, faking an enthusiastic goodbye.
So for all of us on Otaku News Live, we will see you all next week. Take care.
Bye.